crazy. Philippines brings in most powerful missile warship that can destroy enemies from a distance. This year is one for the books in terms of the Philippines' push to improve its defense capabilities, protect territorial integrity, and forge stronger partnerships with allies in the midst of evolving security challenges and threats. With the integration and full operation of the South Korean LIG NEX-1 SSM-700K Sea-Star sea-skimming surface-to-surface anti-ship cruise missile system to the Philippine Navy, PN's Jose Rizal-class frigates, the country now has the capability to sink enemy ships at long range if needed. This potent capability was demonstrated when the BRP Jose Rizal FF-150 fired its Sea-Star anti-ship missile at the decommissioned naval tanker BRP Lake Calauea AF-81. During the maritime strike phase of this year's U.S.-Philippine Balakatan exercises in Laoag City, Ilocos Norte on May 8 this year. Formerly, all PN ships had to deter or sink hostile or intruding ships using naval guns, which required Filipino warships to get close to hit their prospective targets. Effective ranges of naval guns are usually between 3 to 10 kilometers, compared to the Sea-Star's 180 kilometers. Incidentally, this is the first time the PN has fired its Sea-Star cruise missile system since the weapon was integrated into the two Jose Rizal-class frigates acquired and commissioned in 2020 and 2021. Before the launch of the Sea-Star cruise missile, fast attack interdiction craft BRP Lawrence Narag, PG-907, fired its NLOS, non-light of sight, missile system weaponry at the decommissioned tanker. PN spokesperson Commander John Percy Alcos earlier said both missiles successfully hit the target. After the PN vessels, Philippine Air Force planes along with those of the U.S. Air Force also tested their missiles and other munitions on the former BRP Lake Calauea. Shortly after, the Philippine Army land-based artillery also took a crack at the decommissioned naval tanker. The Sea-Star's warhead is known to weigh around 250 kilograms. And was delivered to the PN along with its launchers some 2 or 3 years ago. Alcos said the test firing of the missile shows that the Armed Forces of the Philippines AFP modernization program is working, noting that the firing of the Sea-Star is not aimed or designed towards any particular threat, country, or state. Navy modernization for maritime security. Following the PN's successful firing of the Sea-Star anti-ship cruise missile, then PN Chief Vice Admiral Toribio Atasay Jr. said the Navy was bent on pursuing its modernization programs to better protect the country's vast maritime domains. We shall continue our strides to modernize, cooperate with agencies, collaborate with like-minded partners, and recalibrate our response relative to the developments in our security environment. All these actions are tantamount to our relentless commitment to protect our seas and secure our citizens' future now and in the years to come, he said. Under the ongoing modernization program, the PN is expected to receive 2 brand new guided missile corvettes and 6 offshore patrol vessels from South Korean defense contractor HD Hyundai Heavy Industries, and 2 landing dock platforms from Indonesian shipbuilder PT PAL within the next 2 to 3 years. 3 batteries of the Indian-made BrahMos anti-ship missiles are also expected to be commissioned anytime soon. The PN is also expected to acquire additional brand-new anti-submarine helicopters to beef up the capabilities of the soon-to-be-delivered guided missile corvettes. Reciprocal access pact with Japan. This year also marked another milestone in the Philippines' defense ties with allies, following the Senate's concurrence to the ratification of the Reciprocal Access Agreement, RAA, between the Philippines and Japan. The Department of National Defense, DND, welcomed this development, stressing that the move would heighten our defense and security cooperation with Japan, and enhance the interoperability between the armed forces of the Philippines and the self-defense forces of Japan through the conduct of more in-depth practical cooperative activities/exercises. Representatives from the Philippines and Japan signed the RAA on July 8 this year. The RAA is set to be approved by the Japanese government's National Diet to render it valid and binding upon both the Philippines and Japan, the DND added. Once implemented, it would enable the two militaries to expand defense cooperation amid shared security challenges. It said the RAA with Japan was a testament to the Philippines' unequivocal commitment to peace, security, and stability of the Indo-Pacific region. The agreement is beneficial in enhancing training opportunities, joint exercises, and interoperability. The PN also said it was undeterred by China's continued use of gray zone tactics and persistent to perform its mandate in the West Philippine Sea, WPS. PN spokesperson for WPS Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad said Navy and Air Force units under the Western Command and Northern Luzon Command have regular patrol plans for the WPS. Trinidad said there is no need to respond or react every time China commits gray zone tactics, which he added are illegal, coercive, and deception actions. Gray zone tactics are defined as acts committed by a state that are harmful to another state and sometimes considered to be acts of war, but not legal acts of war. In the WPS, such tactics include the Chinese use of its Coast Guard ships to harass Filipino vessels engaged in its lawful and peaceful mandate. Harassment includes ramming, use of water cannon, and blocking against Filipino ships. More Black Hawk helicopters for PAF. The Philippine Air Force, PAF, also got a capability boost with the arrival of 5 newly acquired S-70I Black Hawk helicopters on December 9th. PAF spokesperson Colonel Ma Consuelo Castillo said these choppers were part of the 32 units of S-70I Black Hawk helicopters acquired through a direct contract with Poland's PZL Milek under the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, Modernization Program. She added that the first batch of 5 helicopters arrived last June 10th and were commissioned shortly after. Both the first and second batches underwent rigorous technical inspection and acceptance, TIA, procedures conducted by the Department of National Defense, AFP, and PAF to ensure all units meet the required standards and specifications. She added that the 32 aircraft contract deal with PZL Milek was signed by then DND Secretary Delfin Lorenzana on February 22, 2022 worth PHP 32 billion. Contract includes an initial logistics support package and training for pilots and maintenance crew. Several 15 S-70I helicopters are expected to be delivered by 2025, while the remaining 7 units are expected to be handed over by 2026. These helicopters would be used for important missions, including internal security operations, medical search and rescue, and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, Castillo said.